In this exciting design series, we'll be showcasing some of the latest innovation from around Australia. Last year, we explored an incredible array of projects and ultimately awarded the top innovation to the Jerry and Gabby machine that's making huge technological advancements in IVF. Well, we're back to do it all again with a brand new series. Welcome to Australia by Design Innovations. I'm here at the CSIRO testing facility in Newcastle, where so many new and remarkable innovations are put to the test every day. And at Sydney CSIRO headquarters, we've gathered an impressive group of design industry leaders tasked with the job of selecting the top 10 innovation from the series and ultimately crowning one project the #1 innovation for the year.
I've been involved in Australia by Design Innovations for 3 years now, and the standard of projects are just unbelievable this year.
First up, an innovation that's making big waves.
Flightboard. It's kind of like a water version or Back to the Future skateboard. I have terrible balance, but I'm going to give this a go, and if it works for me, I'm going to buy one.
You know the story. A successful, stressed out Melbourne business owner sells everything up and makes a sea change to a beautiful spot like this in Byron Bay. So it's not surprising, with a clear mind, he dreamt up a game-changing design for out there.
I was up here, and like a lot of things, you stop trying to come up with ideas and you have your best ideas. So, you know, staring out at that amazing water out there on a day where there was no wind and thinking, I want to get out there on my hydrofoil kite surfboard. How can I do that, you know? And having this idea of putting a motor on there, just sort of, wow, bang. You know, instantly I could kind of see what this thing could be.
So David, this is the assembly plant. This is where it all comes together.
Yeah, we're putting boards together here, and we've got e-foils in another area and batteries being assembled upstairs. And these props are all 3D printed, the first propellers. Funny story on that, my mum rang me up and said that there was a 3D printer for sale at Aldi.
No.
Yeah, but it was great because I could tweak the design, and every night I'd have a new propeller printing.
Go out and test it.
This gets really hot, because it's all connected within this aluminium, and this is in the water and the air.
It's acting as a natural heat sink.
Exactly,
right?
so it's cooling those two systems. So that's a big part of the innovation that we've come up with for the product. Yep.
So it's really as easy as that. That's in a way the big innovation. You're just able to slot that whole component
four
into
bolts,
the wall.
yeah.
That's incredible. I am absolutely dying to have a go on this thing. Do you reckon we could take it out?
I think we can organise that. What we have to do is put the controller on this little spot here to arm it, and when we're ready to go, pull the trigger. It'll be low power, and we use this plus button to go up through the gears.
Sounds simple enough. Let's do it. Here's a guy who had a vision. He stuck to it. He didn't cut any corners, and the end result is probably the best example of design innovation you're ever likely to see, and the most fun I've ever had in a wetsuit.
This next innovation is by a father and son team who are serial innovators. Their current innovation is called Smart Moves.
So Richard, this must be your innovation R&D hub.
Yes, this is where it all happens.
And we're here to talk about this contraption?
Well, this is the beginning of the technology. This machine measures the range of movement and also how much strength. But the problem of measuring strength is it is useless if you don't know how hard the person was trying.
So Richard, you developed a machine that measures applied effort. In other words, how hard I'm trying.
Yes.
Richard, you're a problem solver, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Why
right.
do you do it?
Well, I like to do things that people say can't be done.
Ben, you look like a younger version of the last guy.
You could say design runs in the family.
Oh, so there's another part of this story.
Well, you know the large machine you've just seen?
Yeah.
We've evolved it down to this. This is a wearable device that allows you to accurately measure joint movement.
Talk me through that.
Well, currently the method is using this simple device, a protractor. You place it against the body, identify the landmarks, and put you through your movement and calculate the range.
This seems a little bit crude to me.
Well, it's been around for 500 years and it's hugely inaccurate.
Now there's the problem that your innovation will resolve.
Yes. How about we get your top off and we'll measure your spine.
The things I do for this show, Ben.
Thanks for getting your gear off, Paul. What I'm going to do is slowly put you through some movement, and what our sensors do is record your movement. This gives more accurate results than what's currently available in the world. This technology can be used by physios, occupational therapists, surgeons, universities, you name it, this technology can be applied. One of the other great advantages of this technology is that it can be taken home with the patient. We can download an application onto their phone or iPad and they can be doing rehabilitation exercises that the doctor has prescribed for them.
You know, as a designer, I get a real kick out of meeting people like Richard and Ben. They're not scared to challenge convention, they're not scared to think outside of the box, and they are changing the world one good idea at a time.
After the break, believe it or not, I try my hand at surgery. We've gathered a group of design industry leaders at the CSIRO to judge and select the best design innovations for the year. Our international guest judge, Dan Harden from San Francisco, predicts this next innovation is a medical industry game changer.
FuseTech is a new type of surgical training device that is 3D printed. So it is anatomically correct and amazingly lifelike.
Now, you might be wondering why I'm wearing scrubs. Well, it's a first for me, I can tell you. But I've been invited by one of the world's leading ear, nose and throat surgeons to learn about some new medical technology. I'm not quite sure what I'm in for, but I cannot wait to find out. Good morning, Professor.
Oh, morning, Jamie.
I don't want to disturb you. That looks fairly intense.
Well, you want to have a go? We're just doing some sinus surgery here.
Yeah. Don't know that I'm really...
Take the instrument.
Sure?
Yeah. Come in. Come slide this instrument into the nose here.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
Now you can have a go.
Are you sure this is okay?
Jamie, don't you worry. This is a plasticized training model for our patients.
Wow.
Which we've developed.
I'm glad you wouldn't let me anywhere near a real patient. But it looks so realistic.
This is a model that we've done in combination with Fusitech, which is a 3D printing company. So each of these models is from an actual patient. They've taken the actual CT scan of the patient and we've recreated from the CT scan a 3D printed model. And that 3D printed model has all the pathology that that patient had.
Wow.
So that allows us to train our surgeons and then to show them the actual video of the surgery after they've done the surgery on the model.
Mark, this is absolutely fascinating.
Oh, thank you very much, Jamie.
I can't believe the level of detail that you're able to replicate through a CT scan and then make this 3D printed model.
It's almost at a cellular level that we can have a soft material or a hard material or anything in between. Practice and rehearsal will end up saving lives. There is a real need to advance surgical training. Yes.
Important innovation often comes about when need meets technology, but it takes smart minds and passion like Mark's and Professor Wormel's to break new frontiers to come up with world-changing and possibly life-saving medical technology. Now that is good design. The next innovation combines kids' playtime with technology.
Having a slide and swing in our playgrounds for our kids today just doesn't cut it. This company has developed a new digital solution.
We all love to play, and the child in us never really goes away, but attention spans are shorter. So what does it take today to keep our kids engaged in healthy play? Tanya, this looks like fun.
It is.
Talk me through what's going on here.
Well, what we've done here is mix what I believe is the perfect world of digital and physical play. That's what we do.
When I think of digital, I'm thinking this or I'm thinking this. What do you mean by digital?
Digital for us is being able to line up and slide as you go down it, or a chair that talks and growls to you as you sit on it. You can go for it.
a long time.
Did you hear the bear?
And so by putting the digital into these natural physical elements, it just adds another whole element.
Yeah,
you know?
and what I like about this, Tanya, it's more communal and less isolationist.
It is.
Would that be fair?
100%. We deliberately design and build games with that in mind.
So is this your first installation?
No, we've done hundreds of these.
Really?
Yeah, everywhere from Heathrow Airport, Florida over in the US, and of course proudly here in
So
Australia.
I love that. So this is an Australian design success story.
I'd like to think so, yes. We're very proud of what we've built.
Mark, so good to see good old-fashioned sketches.
Absolutely. We just need to draw it up first to actually work out, does it fit within the overall space?
Yeah.
And from that, we move it to the computer to work out, can we actually build it?
Now, what about these? I remember these from the playground.
So what we've got here is we've got LEDs. We can change the colour, we can change the brightness, but we can also use products like this over the top, which...
A whole different effect. All of this great innovation is happening from Abbotsford, Melbourne.
Yeah, we're creating. At the same time from that creation, we're actually playing with these things to work out, does it actually relate to the rest of the world?
There's a wonderful irony here. You're redesigning play from a former schoolhouse. At the end of the day, the reason why I think this innovation is so successful is that the designers have struck a balance between the physical and the digital, keeping play relevant for kids today.
As a marketer, I've always looked for new ways to brand product. The Loop animated branding system is really clever. You're able to upload a new graphic on your beer tap, or in fact you could use it anywhere. This is going to change the beverage game.
We're here at Shoe Bar in Yagan Square, right in the centre of Perth. The pub's getting busy for a pre-footy session. We're not here to talk about sport today. We're here to talk about beer, more specifically, beer taps. Ryan, what do we have here?
We have a lab. This is looped animated branding. So we've taken the traditional shape of a decal, which hasn't changed since the 1930s. We've given it a modern twist with some creativity and technology.
So why do it?
We're expecting sales to jump up to 30% with the presence of this decal.
That sounds very ambitious. Should we put it to the test? So let's start the clock. So how many beers are they expecting to sell an hour?
Well, the barman reckons around 20.
So they were looking for 26 to 30 beers then?
Yeah, and over the course of a night, it's a solid increase in sales.
And it really stands out amongst the others on the bar.
Yeah, I think it does. We've worked with brands closely to animate their content and become more engaging on the tap. So we can customise this with any brand and develop content that suits them and also still delivers more information about the beer.
And it really brings it to life. Okay, stop the clock.
Well, that makes that 29 and a half.
You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not scientific, but over the course of a night, it's a solid increase in sales, and it shows you what Lab can really do.
The design and innovative thinking of LAB means that no matter how crowded the bar, it's always your round. Cheers.
After the break, time to build a veggie pod and grow a green thumb. Welcome back to Australia by Design Innovations. We are on a quest to find the best innovations for this year, and our judges will select just one or two from this episode to go through to the finals. Next, it's time to get green.
VeggiePod brings a sophistication of ergonomic design with plant care.
I've only managed to keep one plant alive so far, and I am proud of Jeffrey the cheese plant. But I think it's time that we leveled up and started growing some veggies. Well, isn't this just a healthy looking bunch of veggies?
I know, it almost looks fake, doesn't it? But we've only put these in 5 weeks ago, Ali, with the kids at the school here, and they're going berserk.
And so it's on the standing planters, and I've seen these sort of before, but what makes this any different?
Yeah, look, there are a lot of features going on in VeggiePod, and some of the inner workings we can't quite see whilst it's standing here, but probably the best way is to get you to build one. We can go through it. The Wicking Wells there, they sit down simply inside this reservoir. So you can imagine underneath here, water collects from underneath the soil and it naturally draws the water up. So you'll notice there are no tools here. It's all just slide and play like so. Yep. Bang, easy peasy, nice work, Ali. And as you can see, we've put the wall on now, creating a full foot of depth.
So I can get my carrots going all good.
You betcha. Yeah, going this way and this.
And then I guess this is where this comes in.
Well, just before the mesh, we're actually going to put in the irrigator that lines the canopy. So it's yet another feature that's kind of hidden to the eye.
All right, so now it's time for the canopy.
That's it, and this is one of our real killer applications. Protects the plants from both inclement weather and all those nasty pests alike, but it breathes. It lets the rain through. It lets all the light through, which is what we want for vegetable growing. And now the entire canopy kit simply clicks straight onto the base, and Bob's your uncle. And this is what it's all about. It's making gardening accessible to anyone and everyone, everywhere. A lot of raised garden beds are only this high. Technically they're raised, but we spend a lot of time to innovate this to get a significant garden right up to waist height. So there's no bending, no back pain, no on your knees. Anyone can do it, even you.
Even me!
Sorry.
We often say that the best designs simplify, but here, adding a few extra elements actually makes things easier and more accessible. So I think Jeffrey's going to get some company.
Next, the latest offering in the child safety space.
In the competitive market of car seats, Australia's Maxi-Cosi is at the top of the game. With the Vita Pro, they've integrated the best technologies to create an all-in-one solution.
We're going to take a sneak peek behind the scenes of an Australian innovator working with our most precious cargo. So Rob, this must be a huge challenge from a design perspective. We're talking about the safety of our kids when we're designing car seats.
That's right, Terry, and Australian standards are some of the most stringent in the world. We have to find ways to make the seat comfortable, it needs to be easy to use, it needs to be safe. And the challenge is, how do we make this seat really comfortable and bespoke for a newborn, but also then when they grow to that 4-year-old, how do we make it then spacious and comfortable for them as well?
So Mark, I hear you're the engineering brain on this project.
I guess you could say that. Yeah, I had an epiphany one day down in our engineering department. I was thinking, how could I combine our great recline, our great G-cell, our great headrest technology into one amazing platform?
You've got the fun job, choosing all the colours.
We like to pride ourselves in making the most fashionable product out there in the market, but it's really up to us to create the safety and comfort in the seat from a soft goods perspective. We use a lot of different foams and 3D meshes to add more breathability into the seat as well, so we're really considering all elements.
And we're the only car seat manufacturer in Australia to not only design the product, but manufacture it, and assemble it and ensure quality, so we know when it comes off the assembly line, it is absolutely perfect for that parent.
So April, I guess safety is a given. Obviously you want them to be safe, and clearly they are. But comfort is a huge factor when you're choosing a seat, right?
Absolutely. I need the kids to be comfortable because if they're grizzly in the back, then it's distracting while I'm driving.
So I guess another really great comfort for a mum like yourself is knowing that they're actually going to grow with the children.
And it's really easy to adjust as they grow as well, so it's really easy to use.
Happy kids, happy mum.
Absolutely.
It's been a real eye-opener to see the work involved by a closely knit Australian team to constantly innovate in a highly regulated industry with a really important job.
In this series, we've introduced the Freedman Accelerator Award. Peter Freedman will handpick a startup innovator from the series for mentoring and to introduce them to Rode Microphone's business networks on the Australian and international stage. The winner of the Freedman Accelerator Award will be announced later in the series.
I've been in the music game for a long time, and it's so exciting when you see a band that are just about to break through. I'm now looking for a business just about to break through, and I want to help them do that.
Still to come, Brandon's having a crazy car key crisis, and which innovations from this episode will be selected by our judges to go through to the final. Just 2 stories to go in this episode of Australia by Design Innovations. Which projects will our design industry judges select to go through to the final?
What I really like about this show is you get insight into real business problems. And for those of us that are absent-minded, this next innovation really works.
We all know that frustrating feeling when you've lost your car keys. It happens to me almost every day. Well, can you imagine what it would be like to lose 1,000 car keys?
Now that car is out in the middle of the yard there, okay, and we need to get that car back in here so the boys can work on it. Hi Brandon, how'd you go?
I found it.
Yeah?
But it's parked in.
Did you get the stock numbers of the vehicles that were parking it in?
M18321.
Got it.
C98139.
What was that, 389 or 69? That's it. Hopefully I've got them all for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, good luck. Welcome back.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
I know, that's the problem with people facing with this. But the good part is we have solutions. This is our new product called Keyhound. All we have to do is dial to our particular name, put in our own password. When the cabinet unlocks, we have all these keys in here. So all we need to do is we do a search. We can find a key by simply asking for its particular number. And now what'll happen is you'll see in here, there it is, it's lit.
It's lit up. So
Yep.
what do I do? I basically
Just bring it up, pull it across towards you, drop it down into the reader, take it out, and you now have the key.
And the system knows that it's me that's taken that key out, so I'm
Absolutely,
responsible for
because
it.
when you opened up the cabinet, your account opened.
Now, just quickly, how does it help me find the car out there?
Very much the same as what you just saw. But what we do is we ask it where the parking space is. So before you even leave, you've got all the keys you need to actually get that car out of that
That's
position.
genius.
Welcome to a retail car dealership. What we have here is the situation. We've got customers, staff, a lot of more complex than it is down at the pre-delivery centre. And the thing about staff having to get access to the keys is they need to know quickly. They've got a customer waiting, but because we have an app-based system here, the staff actually can, before they even leave the customer, can actually find exactly where the key is before they even go away from their customer.
Rick has found a solution to a problem that up until now I didn't even know existed. This is the key to better accountability and security, as well as saving time and money. I just wish they'd make a system like this for my home.
This next project proves we're never too old to embrace technology.
Research shows that staying connected is going to become even more important as we have this ageing population. Plus 60 offers an easy way for people to stay active and engaged.
Retirement communities like these are becoming more popular as people try to avoid loneliness later in life. So, did I just see a day spa there? This is much more like a hotel than a retirement village.
Well, this is the modern retirement village. There's a cinema, there's a bar, there's a hairdresser. There's almost too much to do these days when you're retired.
Okay, so then how do you sort of keep track of all this sort of stuff going on?
Well, this is what we had to build the app for. We needed something that would be able to remind people what you booked into. Just on this day alone, you've got the weekly shopping trip, meditation and stretch, the circuit class, the box fit balance.
I want to book into all of these. Seniors and technology often is something that people sort of don't put together. So how easy is this app? Give me a rundown. What sort of services are on here?
It's a combination of social tools with things that they really just need to be able to live a well life in their village, and giving them something that actually made their lifestyle feel interesting and brighter and more vibrant. They wanted to learn more and more.
Yeah, and it encourages people to actually go out and do these activities too.
Exactly.
If there's anything new that comes on the app, I can have a look at it and go, I might try that. So I have access to inviting friends to go along. So before you know it, there's a group of people then going to that activity.
We don't want people on this app too much. We want them just using it to see what's on and going to more things.
Yeah, you want this to be facilitating them going out and about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see it as a great tool for my family to be able to see what I've been doing and what I'm up to and what's on here.
Avoiding loneliness and isolation and keeping really positive relationships in your life is something that keeps you going even more so than maintaining your physical health.
The combination of modern retirement villages like this and an app like Plus Communities means that life doesn't have to stop at retirement.
And now it's time to find out from our judges which innovations from this episode have been selected to go through to our best of the best final later in the series.
Every now and then a product comes along which is way more than just a great toy or a beautiful design. These guys in Byron Bay have created something which is absolutely magical.
The judging team were really impressed with this innovation. Imagine going into surgery knowing that your surgical team have already performed the procedure on a version of you.
Congratulations to Flightboard and Sinus Surgical Training Device for making it through to our top 10 final later on in the series. Join us next time for plenty more on Australia by Design Innovations. For more information on any of today's innovations, go to australiabydesign.com.au.